Hello everyone, my name is Christian Garcia and I will talk about my project called Design and Control Optimization of Pressure Swing Adsorption System for Hydrogen Recovery from IGCC plant with co-capture of carbon dioxide. First, I will start with a brief introduction, then I will talk about the PSA control, the case study, the results, and the concluding remarks and ongoing work. The global energy demand is projected to continue increasing significantly in the following years. Unfortunately, many processes for obtaining energy produce a vast emission of pollutants into the environment, leading to the deterioration of ecosystems as well as climate change. This has led to a continuous search for more efficient and sustainable energy production processes. An integrated gasification combined cycle is a power plant where coal is gasified to produce syngas, which is used as fuel for the combined cycle power generation. The main problem of these power plants is the CO2 emissions of the coal combustion. As we can see in this graphic, even the percentage is decreasing. It is still responsible for more than 60% of the global CO2 emissions from electrical power generation plants. For this reason, it is important to have a carbon capture and sequestration step in the system. An important advantage of this process is the production of syngas. This product is valuable though it is rich in hydrogen in addition of its use to generate electricity. This element only produces heat and water in its combustion in comparison with hydrocarbons that generate greenhouse gases. The main uses of hydrogen are the production of fertilizers such as ammonia. It is used in refineries for the processing of petroleum products. It is used also in the production of methanol and in fuel cells, which can be used in electric vehicles as buses, trains, passenger cars, among others. Keeping this in mind, it was proposed this IGCC process, where a stage of carbon dioxide capture is added first. Then a gas separation unit is also added, which will purify a fraction of the syngas generated to obtain high purity hydrogen. The gas separator selected is the pressure swing adsorption. This system consists in a cyclic process with a minimum of two interconnected columns that contain beds with an adsorbent material. It is commonly used due to its efficient and because it works with low energy consumption. Basically, it works in 6 steps, so we will analyze this single PSA process with 2 columns. The first one is adsorption, where a feed gas passes through the column, leaving the impurities adsorbed on the bed by high pressure. The product is divided into flows. One is used as final product, and the another one is recirculated to the second column with a ratio called push to feed. After this step comes a pressure equalization to reduce the pressure of bed 1. Later, the column is drained from the bottom, where the desorbed gases are exhausted as waste, and the pressure is reduced to the atmospheric. The product recirculated from the adsorption step is used in the purge to help to regenerate the adsorbent. Another pressure equalization is carried out to increase the pressure, and finally a formal pressurization is made. Through a bibliographic review on these processes, it was found that there is a lack of control studies, which is very important to maintain a process in the desired operating conditions. In addition, the control helps to the processes to work safely and efficiently. Here we can see some works in the methane and hydrogen separation, as well in the and nitrogen separation, using as control strategy the MPC and the PID controllers. The reason for this lack of studies is because these systems are highly complex due to their periodic nature. At certain time, the outlet of each column is the same, reaching a cyclic steady state. The main obstacle here is that the number of cycles required to reach that state is unknown. For this reason, it is analyzed a PSA process with 4 bits and 8 steps. It consists basically in the 6 steps previously explained, but it is added to pressure equalization steps. Here, the adsorption time is the same as the purge time, which is a very important variable, as we will see in the next slide. The time of the pressure equalization, the blowdown, and the pressurization is a quarter part of the adsorption time. And initially, the time of the cycle is 630 seconds. It is operating at 35 bar and 308.15 K of temperature and using the activated carbon as the adsorbent material. This process is simulated in GPROMs, and it is described by partial differential and algebraic equations, including mass balance, the momentum balance described by the Ergun equation, the adsorption equilibria by the dual-side Langmuir model, the mass transfer using the linear driving force model, the energy balance, and it is considered the gas as ideal. This led us a problem with almost 4,000 variables, where 60 variables are known or assigned. Among these variables are the feed composition and the pressure on each step. Here we can see the pressure profile of the system, where each step of the cycle is shown with its pressure. The torsion time is one of the most important variables of the system. So after the process is simulated, as we saw in the last slide, it is made a sensitivity analysis of the process with the variation of the adsorption time. It is identified that the system works better with a shorter adsorption time, as we can see in the first graphic, where there is a variation in the adsorption time. Also, there is a trade-off between recovery and product and purity important to consider. While recovery, as we can see in the orange line, it increases with time, while the purity decreases, as we can see in the blue line. It decreases along the cycles. Another important variable in the system is the feed rate. As mentioned above, a portion of the syngas generated will be taken, so it is important to analyze the variation of the input amount. The uncertainty in feeding is not significant. It is observed that when the flow rate is lower, the purity and recovery obtained are better. But we can see by this image that the uncertainty is not a parameter with too much influence in the process, because by varying the feed rate with lower and higher percentage, a common behavior is observed. So here the feed rate is varied with a lower percentage and a higher percentage, and the behavior is maintained. Then the system is considered a single input and single output to add a PI controller. The product purity is the control variable, and the adsorption time is the manipulated variable. In this graphic, is represented the change produced due to the PI controller, where in the first cycle, the controller doesn't take any action over the system. But at the beginning of the second one, it is important to notice how makes the molar composition of the product doesn't decrease abruptly during the cycle, which allow us to obtain a better performance. Here we can see the improvement of the system due the PI controller with both purity and recovery show better results. And this is carried out by also varying the decision variables that in this case are the diameter, the burst to feed ratio, the feed rate, the adsorption time, and the blow the time. And these are the parameters of the PA controller. As concluding remarks, the simulation of a PSA system was carried out for the purification of hydrogen from syngas. The process improvement was seen with the addition of the PA controller. It was identified that the selection of the adsorbent material is important to get a good performance. The adsorption time is one of the most important variables of PSA systems, and as ongoing work, we are working on an MPC controller due to the influence of the multiple parameters in the system, as well as implementation of more robust controller. So with this, I conclude my presentation. Thank you for attending, and I am open to any questions.